Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, today we are going to come into the discussions of pragmatics. At the beginning of our course, I think I told you already the difference between semantics and pragmatics, but let me underline the differences between semantics and pragmatics. Okay. What is semantics, everybody? Semantics is a discussion about the meaning of linguistic units, lexical item or word, or proposition. And then, what is pragmatics? Pragmatic is a discussion about the meaning of linguistic units when it is already in the level of use. So when the pragmatic is dealing with the discussions about the linguistic units when they are already used in communication. Okay. When we are talking about communication, communication is always dealing with context. And now, there is a big question. What is context? Context is a situation in which the meaning of a certain entity really depends on the entity or the entities accompanying the text. The entity or the entities accompanying the text or accompanying the main text is called co-text. Okay, I am repeating the definitions of the definitions of context. Context is a situation in which the meaning of a certain text really depends on the occurrence of the co-text accompanying it. Okay, and I think the definitions will be clearer if I give you an example. Now, let's come back to the semantics. I am asking you, what is the meaning of she is staying at home? Can you explain the meaning of she is staying at home? I am sure that because you are fluent in English and then, okay, sir, so I know the meaning of she is staying at home. Okay, so in semantics, okay, she is staying at home has got its meaning in semantics. But now I'm asking you, who is she? She is staying at home. Which home? Where is it? Okay. Pragmatically, she is staying at home hasn't got meaning. So it hasn't got meaning. I think it's better to say pragmatically, she is staying at home only has got its semantic meaning, but its pragmatic meaning is not clear yet. In order that she is staying at home can have pragmatic meaning, there should be other texts or other texts becoming the co-text. And I am sure the meaning of she is staying at home will be clear if I give a co-text. My wife decided not to go to her office today. She is staying at home. Okay? Now you get the meaning? So when there is already another text becoming the co-text of the main text, the text or the main text has got its clear meaning pragmatically. Okay? So who is she? My wife. And then at home, which one? My home. Okay? But wait. So I give you an example. Let's say, so it is not the real thing. I have got two wives, for example. So one of my wives lives in Bogor, and then my second wife, my other wife lives in Jakarta. Okay? For those who knows that I only have got one wife, and then my wife lives in Bogor, the context is enough. My wife decided not to go to her office today. She is staying at home. So the context is enough. But for those who knows that I have got two wives, the context, my wife decided not to go to her office today, is not enough to explain she is to give the meaning to she is staying at home. And then if I give another context, for example, my wife decided not to go to her office today, she is staying at home. That is the reason why Rafa and Zahra are happy, because they can play with their mom. Okay, so there are two contexts accompanying the main text, and then the main text has got its clear pragmatic meaning. Okay, for those who knows that I have got two wives, this is just an example. Oh, okay, they get the point. She here is Rusi Susilawati, my wife. And then home here is not my home in Jakarta, but my home in Bogor, because Rafa and Zahra and then her mom, Rusi Susilawati, lives in Bogor, for example. Okay, I hope so. My explanation can you give the clear meaning what is meant by context, in which text should be accompanied by co-text. Okay, well, in semantics we already talk about what you call that, the meaning relation between proposition. We discuss paraphrasing, and then entailment, and then presupposition. Okay, so they are the notions which are discussed in semantics. In pragmatics, we are dealing with what you call that, utterance. Actually, paraphrasing, entailment, and presuppositions are also dealing with utterances, right? And now when we come to pragmatics, the discussions about utterances, the meaning of utterances, are usually discussed in a notion called implicator. There are two kinds of implicator: conventional implicator and conversational implicator. So what is implicator, everybody? Implicator is the inference that we can get from a certain utterance. Okay, so for example, the utterance of someone. So it is long time ago when someone calls someone at home, and then the call is picked up by the wife. Hello, and then somewhere out there say, "Can I speak to John, please?" And then the wife of John answers, "Sorry, he is still having a shower." Okay, and then the caller say, "Okay, I will call him back. Bye." Okay, so we can say that he is still having a shower here is an utterance that give the implicator that John is having a shower. That is the reason why he cannot answer your call. And then that is the reason why he cannot answer your call is perceived by the caller. That is the reason why the caller uttered, "Okay, I will call him back. Bye." Okay. When we are talking about, so what we discussed just now is dealing with the conventional implicator. So let's come back to presupposition again. Presupposition, let's go over the preposition. Presupposition is the common example of conventional implicator. Okay. When we are dealing with implicator, there is a notion called cooperative principle. Come back to the example that I gave you previously, the telephone conversation. The caller got what is meant by the wife of John because they have got cooperative principle. So when the wife answered, "Oh, he is still having a shower. Sorry, he is having a shower," and then the caller say, "Okay, I will call him back." So it means that there is a cooperation. I mean, the cooperative principle between the wife of John and then the caller. So the caller didn't reply, "Hello, I am asking you whether I can speak with your husband or not. I am not asking you whether what he is doing now." So if the caller replies that way, so it means there is no cooperative principle between them. Okay. Well, when we are talking about cooperative principle, and then when we are also talking about the cooperative principle will be clear when we are discussing conversational implicator. When we are talking about conversational implicator, there is a notion which is there are four important there is an important notion called maxim. At least there are four types of maxim. The first is maxim of quantity, the second is maxim of quality, the third is maxims of relevance, and then the fourth is maxim of manner. So don't worry, be happy. I will give you my writing about maxim later. So I will send you through WhatsApp group later. Hopefully my explanations about context and the difference between semantics and pragmatics, and then our overview, the what you call that, paraphrasing, entailment, and preposition, which are actually related to implicator, can give you slight enlightenment about what is meant by pragmatics. For the time being, that's all from me. Don't forget to read the file that I will give to you. See you again next week. Next week is the last meeting before Lebaran. The last words from me is Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.